Yeah. I think today is going to be quite different from what we've been doing so far, which is about finding love, gaining love, all that positive spirit, and really dive into something that's a lot heavier, a lot deeper, because we're actually turning 180 now. We are talking about losing love and what that means to people, how certain people cope with losing love, how extreme it can get to. Maybe it can also, you know, kind of dig in deeper and kind of influence them in that way as well.
I think it's an interesting topic because it gives us an opportunity to really talk about something that I think a lot of people have a hard time talking about.
Absolutely. Honestly, I feel like talking about happy, positive experiences it's fun, right? We all like that. But I think what's even more important is to talk about negative things and how that can really impact your life, how you go about situations, and also how a negative situation can be turned into good and change how you perceive things in the future, right? And how you can also give more sympathy and empathy to others who are experiencing the same thing as well. Our guest today is a friend of mine, and I know he's experienced a lot of different types of loss in his life. It's not just life and death, but loss of time, loss of relationships. So I think he'll have a pretty good insight into this topic today. So I'm excited, but I'm also holding back because of the topic, which is kind of heavy today. But yeah, okay. Okay, let's go, guys.
You can't break my focus. All I got right now is attention. Give me that divine intervention. You done got me started.
My name is Boss, Yozi, and we're going to talk about love and how can we like preserve or endure during some hardship in love, I think. And my initial thought on how to endure hardship with love is basically it's just love, right? I mean, there's so much power in love that I think it's just incredible that it also has the characteristic to help us to endure.
What is the meaning of life to you?
Wow, that is a big topic. Okay, the meaning of life. I think meaning of life is like, it's kind of like an adventure. Like we get to experience all the ups and downs. Because like life is not just about sunshine, it's also about rainy day, like today, it's rainy outside. So how can we experience it all, but not to take it too harsh on ourselves, but to learn through all the experiences in life, and I think there's something so beautiful about it.
Hello!
Hey!
Great! Good to see you. I'm gonna jump in here, give you a... We're not doing elbows, right? We're doing hugs.
Exactly. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for being here.
You are so welcome.
Oh, you got a drink already?
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm okay. You?
How long have you been back since your trip?
A few weeks. Yep.
So you know what we're talking about today?
A little bit.
Okay, we're talking about losing love. And it's not just about life and death, which obviously you've also experienced, but it's also about losing certain relationships, breakups, losing time.
I get it.
Yeah, so...
It's part of life.
It is a part of life.
We all have to go through those things.
Yes, and I think I really wanted to get you on this episode because I actually know Boz because I read your autobiography.
Right.
I was always like, I felt like I knew you through your book.
Ah, wow.
And from like what you shared there and your experiences in life. And I think one of the things that we really wanted to talk about is you losing certain relationships in your life. Do you mind sharing a bit about that, or even the most recent one?
Of course, yeah. Well, the most recent one is like my dad.
Yeah.
He just passed away.
Right.
2 months ago. And that actually did something to me. It really hit hard home.
Yeah.
And I just had to do some soul searching and just have to like refigure out like, okay, so.
Thank you.
So that is happening. So how should we deal with it? How should we glide through it, through the suffering and through like how can I rebuild my family, like my mom? How can I support her from this point on and so on?
Things like that really makes us rethink our values as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. By the way, so every episode we do a kind of memory lane. So I'm just gonna ask you some things. We don't have to dive too deep. I just want to hear your first instinct, and then we can dive into it a little bit later on. Okay?
Sure.
Okay.
I get it.
So first of all, What or who was the biggest loss in your life?
Oh, wow.
Because you mentioned a lot of people who
the
recently
biggest
passed.
loss. I would like to say my dad, which is true.
Yeah.
But the loss that has the most impact on me
Yeah.
was actually a girlfriend that I was with.
That you
when-
wrote about in the book?
That I wrote about in the book.
Okay.
Can I talk about it? I don't know how much.
Sure, you can talk about it.
When I lost everything, like I used to have a rap career. I was signing with record labels in Taiwan.
Yeah.
And when I ended up in prison, I lost that. I lost a whole bunch of money with like expensive lawyer's fee,
Right.
and I lost my freedom and the whole 9 yard. So at that moment in prison, I could only hold on to the one love that I had
Yeah.
left,
And the
which
one
was
who promised you this would not happen.
exactly. And on my first birthday in prison, it happened. She went away with another guy. I find out
Wow.
in a mysterious way. I find out, and it just broke my heart, and
Yeah.
my world was like.
Yeah, like the last
Tear.
thread you held on to
Exactly.
kind of snapped, right?
Snap. Because of that, I actually channel my energy towards my family a little bit more than before. Because before I was always about like career, music, and then
Right, friends.
friends and connection in the outside world.
Yeah.
But because of that experience, it actually helped me channel my energy more to my parents.
Oh, that's good.
And then yeah, they came to prison to visit me every single weekend, and that's when we rebuilt our relationship.
Right.
Through through time together, through prayer and just love towards one another. And that's why when my dad passed away earlier this year, I have no regret because whenever I get opportunities
Wow.
to be with him,
Yeah.
I treat him dinner, I take him to nice places, I try to do it the best that I could.
That's really powerful. I don't think every person can say that they have no regrets when someone they love passes, right? You always think, what if I did that at that certain time? But yeah,
Yeah,
puts everything into perspective about
Yeah.
how we should go about.
exactly.
Another question. You lost a friend. I'm not sure if they mentioned.
Right.
I don't know about this. I don't think it was in your book then. Losing a friend.
Yeah, it was in my book.
Was it?
So what happened was,
Okay.
before I ended up in prison in Vancouver, I kind of like have my own production. So I
Oh,
trained
like a.
rappers, try to raise up the next generation of Chinese rapper from Vancouver.
Okay.
And then my value back then was a little bit different than my value now. I always taught them, hey, you gotta get sexy girls and models to be in your movie and music
get
video.
part-time
Exactly,
models
right?
like
So
I
sex
have.
sales and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And later on when I ended up in prison, my value changed. I find new faith in Christ, and it kind of like changed my whole perspective of how we should project our message to the society.
Of course.
So when they came to visit me in prison, I started to tell them, hey, don't get sexy models anymore because we are probably ruining marriages. So why don't we talk about something that is more positive?
Right.
We try to build up this
Healthy,
community,
right?
With positive messages. I remember it so clearly. This one guy, his name is AC. I can,
Oh, I do remember then.
right?
Yeah.
Very good looking guy, and his rap skills was actually getting better and better.
Yeah.
And then this one time, I remember so clearly. In 2008, he came to visit me. We're sitting at the visiting table, and then I tried to tell him okay, we gotta use our music to better this world and all that
They
kind of stuff.
probably think you're crazy. Like, what did prison do to you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I remember so clearly, and then he said to me, hey, boss, he said, I'm not Jay-Z or Kanye West yet, but once I get to that point, I'll be able to impact this world with positive energy. And that something got onto me. I don't know what it was. I think it's the power of God. I remember so clearly, I told him, if you do not do it today, how do you know you have tomorrow to do it? Because you just don't know. I never knew that I would end up in prison. Nobody knew.
No.
And then not too long later, within 2 months, he went to a nightclub in downtown Vancouver.
Yeah.
He got some argument with some guys in there. He got stabbed to death. And I was so heartbroken.
I just
Right?
got goosebumps.
I have it myself right now
Yeah.
as well. Every time I talk about that story, I still got goosebumps.
Yeah.
So that just told me, if we have today, it's a gift.
Yeah.
That's why they call it present, because it's today.
Yeah.
If we should use today to to love the people around us, and if we have the energy and the opportunity to do something good to our world,
Yeah.
do it.
Right.
Don't wait till tomorrow.
I like that.
Yeah.
We're gonna go on a small commercial break, and then when we come back, we can dive in a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Okay. See you guys.
Yeah， 尋你嘅悲傷係時候拎走，做咗啲功課得到嘅零售，試過嘅挫折失學到跌破，跌到個谷底草監嘅折磨，周圍嘅鄙視自己都跌咗。跟住神嘅計劃親自嚟接我唔可以將錯就錯，我唔可以一錯再錯，我唔可以俾仇敵嘅大話一次又一次佔據我唔可以一拖再拖，過去咗就係放低咗，我要用上帝嘅能力去將前面困難突破，唔理困難會有幾高，唔理評語會有幾嘈，真係太攰嘅時候就要閂埋房門跪低祈禱，負面聲音升到幾高，我嘅熱誠仍然喺度，曾經失去而家知道可以自由呼吸到係有幾好啊 ！Yeah.
Thank you for your performance.
Thank you
I'm
too
so
for having
relaxed
me.
right now.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think you just made that, like, the vibes came out. I feel like this whole setting needs a bit of rap and singing.
There you go. You
Thanks
just
for
got
doing
it.
that. So back to what we were talking about in losing love, and I think a very important aspect about losing love or relationships or life and death is the idea of coping.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
I remember I heard, because I'm Christian as well,
Yeah.
and I remember hearing a sermon once, and this is from a pastor who I really admire. He always seems to say the right things. He makes his, sermons very intriguing. But even he said that he has this weakness, and one of the things that he doesn't like to do or to preach about the most is about comforting others when they're sick or when they have loved ones who have passed away. And he says, I never know what to say. And he said, the worst thing to say to someone probably is everything happens for a reason. It almost, doesn't acknowledge what they went through or what that family has gone through. And in turn, he said, maybe one of the best things you can say to someone is to acknowledge that person's life and say, I knew so-and-so, they meant a lot to me. They helped me get through a certain time in my life, almost to realize that this person's life, had a purpose.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the best way we can support someone that are losing someone, I think one of the most powerful things that we can do is just to be there for them. Because when I experience some of my loss, I actually don't need my friends or my family to say a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I just need them to, okay, let me know that you are there.
Right.
But that's just me though.
Right.
Right? But I think, yeah.
Culturally, how do you think, let's say, like Chinese people,
Right.
how do they cope with this?
Oh, you know what? It's actually very different, the East and West.
Right.
I think for Chinese, like even in a funeral, so to
Yeah.
speak, Chinese people would pay beckons, right?
Oh,
They would
yeah.
use like money gifts to
Right.
just comfort the family.
Right.
Not so much for the Western though. They would
Yeah.
bring flowers and maybe small gifts.
Yeah.
It's kind of different.
Right.
But I think both sides is like just sending something to let them know that, hey, you're actually thinking about them. You're actually there for them.
Yeah.
And I think one of the most common things that people can say or do
Yeah.
is to let the family know that if you need anything,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Right.
Even though, like, for Chinese, like, we might be so shy, like, I don't want to bother you, I don't want,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
actually
true,
want
that's true,
anything
yeah,
from you, but
yeah.
just hearing it, if you
It's
need
the
anything,
option of having
exactly,
that,
then you know
right.
you're not alone.
Have you heard of like, the celebration of life? You know how
Yeah.
some people, instead of a funeral, they kind of almost do a party and they kind of celebrate that person's life. Like,
Right.
I really like that. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like that's what I want.
Yeah, for you,
know?
yeah, it's probably what you want. I try to name my dad's ceremony
Yeah.
as a celebration of light
Yeah.
as well. However, like, I host the whole thing. It's hard.
Right.
Like, I have some great memory, but when I talk about some of the stuff that we've been through, like, the tears still, like, I still shed a tear or two. When I said no regrets before, I think a lot of people actually have regrets.
Of course.
Like, oh, I shouldn't say that to him.
Yeah.
I should never say that to her.
Yeah.
And actually, everyone can relate to that. Like sometimes, like we do have our emotions. We do have our times. We have ups and downs.
Of course, yeah.
We probably said some hurt things to the person before. And you have those regrets.
Yeah.
But always remember that if we do make those mistakes, or I shouldn't call them mistakes, but when we said something we don't really mean to, let them know the next day.
Right,
Hey, like, hey, sorry, like what I said yesterday or 2 hours ago, I didn't really mean that.
Yeah.
So just let you know that I love you, like da-da-da.
That's actually so important because I feel like a lot of times in our culture, it's almost people think that once you don't talk about it and it's over, right? We don't have to bring it up again. We don't have to kind of revisit it.
That's the Chinese culture.
That's the Chinese
right?
culture. And it's like, they're not talking about it. We're not, like, we act as if things are normal again.
Exactly.
And when you do that, you never know how much has actually kind of went deeper and it actually isn't okay. Maybe that person is still holding on to whatever
Absolutely.
residual anger, hurt, any feelings that they have as well.
So I would say, like from the West, like we always talk about like open communication.
Right.
Like, which, like you know, the Caucasian, they like to talk about stuff, right?
Yeah.
I try to bring that to people, especially in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
I find that people don't actually want to talk about things.
Yeah,
They don't
that's
want to talk about their emotion, especially guys. Like you just want to like pretend that everything is fine.
Even my dad, he's very traditional. Like,
there you
I
go.
don't think I've ever seen him cry. And I don't know if that's a good thing. Maybe there isn't anything severe enough to cry about, but
Right.
it almost feels like he's holding back from how he's really feeling.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think as Chinese, we like to sweep things under the rug,
yeah.
pretend everything is fine, but
Right.
actually there's a bunch of garbage
Yeah.
right under the rug. And
Yeah. When you lift it up, that's the scary
clear
part.
it. Like if we can clear it, I think it's very like healing.
Right.
It's actually bring healing to the whole family and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think that would really benefit the Chinese culture. And I don't think we have to be harsh
Yeah.
while we communicate.
Yeah.
It can be a friendly communication as well.
That's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
This was so great. And just to kind of, leave things at a more lighthearted note, we have one more round of Truth or Dare.
All right.
I know you're looking forward. Everyone loves this part.
There you go.
Should we go over there and
Sure.
do our spin the bottle?
Yep.
Okay, let's go. How long have you not played spin the bottle for?
Long time.
Long time. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we have prepared 2 lovely chocolate concoctions for you
Okay.
with a little added something. Would you like to know what's inside? The first one, without the umbrella, has barbecue sauce,
Ooh.
mustard,
Wow.
fermented bean curd, 腐乳啦,
Interesting.
cucumber, and chocolate. And as to the one with the umbrella, we have Tabasco, citrus syrup, peppercorn oil, ooh, a little spice, coffee, and chocolate.
I like coffee and chocolate.
Yeah, and nothing else above that. But so what we're gonna do is have you spin, and then whatever it lands on, you're gonna take out the piece of paper, read the question, and if you wanna answer it, by all means do. If it's too difficult, too embarrassing, you don't wanna answer it, then you can take a sip of the drink.
Okay, all right.
And there's also one that says spin again for grace, but
Okay, all right.
have to care about that.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
No, but sure.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
You're the, like... No! Oh my God! Did you do that on purpose?
No, spin again for grace.
Wait, do I have to take that one? I spin again, okay. So whatever you spin, I have to answer now.
Oh,
Because you can-
nice. Okay.
How did you do that?
I don't know.
I don't like you anymore.
No? Oh. All right, let's see.
What?
What is that?
Sex
Oh.
life.
Ay, ay, ay.
I'm just gonna drink. I don't think I even want to answer the
sure?
question. Do you want to see the question?
Okay.
You can read it.
I'll read it. Wow.
This has never happened.
Should I read it?
Do you want to read it?
Okay, I read it. Okay. How many people have you slept with, and who was your proudest achievement? Explain. This is.
It's not even like
Yep.
it's not even like I'm embarrassed to answer this question
Right.
because it's obvious. It's just that I don't want to openly say my answer to
There
this
you go.
question. So which one? This was coffee, right?
I guess. Should you stir it?
Oh my God! I see the oil on the top. Look at this.
Oh. Tabasco, you said?
No, there's peppercorn oil.
Peppercorn
Like 嗰
oil.
啲四川辣辣地嗰隻。
Oh, wow.
don't laugh. I don't want to do this. Okay, you guys don't have to give me lunch later. I think I can't eat after this.
Oh boy.
Are you sure you don't want to try it too?
No. I probably have my chance, but. How is it? It's not that bad.
It's really spicy.
It's really spicy.
Actually, it's not that bad.
Spicy coffee.
All right, final question for you today.
Okay.
Do you remember the first time you said, I love you to somebody?
Of course I remember. My mom.
Oh.
I remember like when I was a kid,
Yeah.
I looked up to her a lot, and I remember I say it seriously, like sincerely, and said, "Hey, Mama, I love you." I remember that. Yeah, I still do today,
Yes, of course. All the time?
all the time,
You say it to her all the time.
every day.
I love
I
that.
say it to her every day.
Nice. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, Grace.
It was really great having you, sharing
Great to
your
be here.
insight today.
Great to
All
be
right, cheers, but let's
Wow.
not drink to this.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's definitely better than answering the question, I would say.
Hey, it's actually not that bad.
Right? Everyone's gonna come around. Oh no, look at him, he's
actually
mad.
not
He's like,
that
it's
bad.
not that bad. Okay.
Has some sweetness to it. Okay, 試一試先。呢個係嘛？試呢個 alright? Try this one.
有啲咩頭先話？Hostel
Sour. 酸酸地。
It's the bean curd.
This is bad. That one is way
Thanks
better.
for tuning in.